Faux show. Okay, I'm going to get into some of the pre-show notes here finally. So I noticed a couple things. This has been going viral the past week or two. I'm not really tapped into this. Can anyone explain this drizzle, soft guy era thing? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Anybody?
I know.
Anybody?
I don't think I've heard of it. I know what it is.
Just you? You're the only one who knows? Okay, we can, sure.
So there's this lady, I don't know her name, but she's this creator. She always talks about sprinkle, and how guys should give you money and give you stuff, which I think is ridiculous. So then guys came up with the drizzle, which is the boy version, which is like, I'm not going to be your boyfriend unless you drive a Lambo or buy me expensive dinners. So it's like the boy version of that. And I think it's kind of showing some of the ridiculous aspects of princess treatment, basically.
Can I add on to what you said?
Yeah, go for it.
So, it might be like a kind of switch off topic, but like, and I'm not saying all men, because I have a point of view where it's like I really appreciate gender roles in a relationship, but I feel like nowadays, and I talked about this a while ago, and I feel like a lot of people kind of misconstrued it, like a lot of not a lot, but like a good amount of men are kind of expecting princess treatment now from women. And if you guys, I want to get like a man's like perspective on this.
Dudes that want to be treated like princesses?
Yeah.
That's the fucking weirdest shit I've ever heard in my entire life.
Like,
I would never let a girl treat me like a princess ever, not even for $1 million. I'd die before I do that. It's just not in my DNA. Sorry, over to you.
Well, I have a position on this.
I really want to know. Like, I'm really curious. Because people got so fucking mad at me when I said this.
So, I mean, I think the most optimum relationship dynamic is when the girl is simping for the guy. Now, that doesn't mean that she's treating you like a princess, because that would be like, it's almost like she's this weird, like, that's a weird dynamic. But if she's, and I actually really detest when people refer to themselves, self-refer as royalty. I'm a king, I'm a queen. Whether you're a man or woman, that's cringe as fuck. But like, just to engage like on that level, like if your girl is treating you, and again, I hate this royalty terminology, she's treating you like a king, that's a W, right? So I mean, if she's doing all this shit for you, what's wrong with that?
No, not necessarily like that. I mean, like more so of like being chased after.
Sign
like,
me up.
Like
that's a better dynamic.
Wait,
that's a way better. I think it's
chased after or the guy?
No, the girl chasing the guy. It's a better dynamic.
The man,
it's
right?
way better.
She's doing the work.
Yeah, like all the work basically.
It's a better dynamic, obviously, if you're capable of, as a man, of getting that kind of dynamic. A lot of men aren't, though, so it's kind of irrelevant for me to really talk about it or encourage it. I mean, yeah, I could encourage it in the sense of level up so much as a man that you are getting that sort of treatment from women, but I do realize for the average man that's probably a pipe dream. But I will acknowledge that that is going to be the best relationship dynamic, is the girl simping for the guy, the girl being like all up on the guy versus the guy being all up on the girl.
Yeah, he's correct. He's correct. When the asymmetrical commitment is in favor of the man, whereas the woman likes the man more, relationships tend to last longer because women are a lot more emotional, and they're like negatively when they experience stress or anxiety or whatever, they're much more likely to leave the relationship. So if a woman likes a guy more, he has more margin for error. Most men typically aren't just going to leave the woman. So, you know, the fact that we have more margin for error when the woman likes us, she's much more willing to put up with shit that she may not like that we do. We get a lot more leeway. We get a lot more, you know what I'm saying? So
I get that.
Yeah, so it does work in that regard. And that's driven by data as well. As a matter of fact, because most relationships don't last even 2 years, because it takes about 2 years, especially in like Western cultures, for us to even pair bond to the point to where we want to be with each other long term, where we come out of that stage of limerence or infatuation. Most of the time when the woman likes the man more, the relationship lasts longer than that. But if the man likes the woman more, the majority of the time the relationship fails.
For sure.
He's got a W.
I mean, I can say for my boyfriend, he is exponentially cuter than me. I'm being honest. And we don't argue, but we disagree about this because we both feel like we love each other more. But I mean, he was doing gardening yesterday, and I could watch that all day. Like, I don't know. I really, really like him and love him a lot.
That's
so
nice. That's wholesome. It's like a bowl of oatmeal.
See, that's what we want to hear. We want to hear our women say that about us. I really like him a lot. Yeah, that's
and I mean, perhaps another component about this, like, there are plenty of men who are super prepared to simp for women, but men don't get that level of treatment or attention from most women. So for men, it can be a bit of a novel thing, a novelty to some degree, and that's appealing. Whereas, like, that's almost sort of the default treatment that a lot of women get. Yeah. Like, this guy, he's willing to simp for you, pay for all the shit, blah, 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 do all these gestures, do all this stuff. Die for you.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Knew it was coming.
Yeah, but,
it's the submission though, right? Like that, essentially making these things known by like in actions, through verbal communication. A woman doing that is the submission. I do think that naturally men tend to gravitate towards that. It's attractive for a man to have someone that's submissive.
Yeah. And when it comes to like the chase, this is something I always like to say. Or well, when it comes to women playing hard to get, for example, if you play hard to get, you quickly become hard to want. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I'm not interested in like chasing a girl. Like, I'm pretty direct. Like, I like you, you like me. Mm-hmm. Let's make it work. Simple. I'm not gonna like, if she's on the fence about me, goodbye. Like, so
I feel like this is like the mainstream hookup culture problem, that women in their heads think that men like the hard to get, that they like try to distance themselves, they create distance, they create this sense of deprivation to feel that a man wants them. So women, like, you know, I'm not saying I do this, but I'm saying it's very mainstream that this is what is going on in culture. But like, how do men feel about that? Like, let's say you've been dating a girl and then she sets like distance between you guys, or she puts in like the distance, like she makes it known that she's trying to like play a game.
Wait, how would she make it known?
Like, I guess like through communication, like she takes that down, like kind of lessens the attention that she's been giving
tell you. For me, this is just me personally. I'm not the same as everyone. I'm just my own person. But the girls that I've dated, it's been like difficult to get to the end of the process because they're desirable to a lot of people, and so a lot of people approach them, so they're like, you've got to prove that you're the real deal, that you're not full of shit. So like my kind of like effort to reward ratio is like, if you want something that everybody else wants, prove that you have things that other people don't have. So it's like, I don't know, maybe it's that mentality of like, I prefer to like eat what I kill, for like lack of a better phrase, but like putting in like a little bit of work to get something a little bit better for me. That's what worked for me anyway. Because like you got to remember, I'm surrounded by fakes, frauds, losers. Like, I sponsor parties, I don't even go to them, but what I'm saying is like, in those circles there are a lot of fake credit flexes. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's like, they kind of say, show me that you're real, show me you do what you say you do, and it's just a little bit of extra work, but I mean, I don't mind. I don't give a fuck. I don't subscribe to the idea of proving myself to a woman, in large part due to the fact that most of the time women show mutual interest off rip, but if I have to prove myself to you, what am I proving myself to you for? Because you want to be a girlfriend, you want to be a wife, so you have to prove yourself to me in that regard as well. If I'm proving myself to you because I want to sleep with you, I mean, that really doesn't hold any weight. You want cut both ways for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
you want commitment out of me. So if you're acting like you're disinterested, then as far as I know, you don't want to be a girlfriend or wife, at least not mine. So I'm not going to sit there and try to prove myself to you to get some pussy, and you're not interested in reciprocating to show me that you actually want something long term with me.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I feel like a lot of women will say, oh, that's girlfriend level. You're not there yet. That's